Over the last decade or two, fan games and mods have only grown in popularity, with the crazy Kaizo mods for games like Super Mario World, incredible new adventures for games like Super Mario 64, or amazing overhaul hacks for games like Super Mario Sunshine and Paper Mario the Origami King. The number and quality of these games has just increased in every way, with many of the better ones being on par with official works in terms of quality. Yet despite this, discussing them online can be an exercise in frustration. From talking Nintendo ninjas, confusion about their purpose, to suggestions of spiritual successors, the ninjas full of misinformation and myths about fan games, many of which plague sites like Reddit and Twitter near innocently in the process. So today, we're going to try and clear them up. Today, we're going to try and explain how many of the things you believe about fan games are wrong, and what the reality is behind these projects, with our first one being the biggest misconception on social media. That being, the most Nintendo fan games and mods get taken down. Indeed, according to folks on Reddit and Twitter, the Nintendo ninjas are everywhere. They strike without mercy, go after everyone who dares make a Mario game, and rid the world of fan projects with the brutal efficiency of Metroid's SAX. As the saying goes, shut up till it's done, they'll get you if you don't. The reality on the other hand is a lot less terrifying. Put simply, the chance of a fan project of any kind receiving a cease and desist or takedown is so low it's virtually non-existent. Indeed, out of the hundreds of thousands of fan games and mods, maybe a handful have been hit by Nintendo ninjas. What's more, those projects tend to hit a few specific criteria. They are spilled for money, they're a direct remake or competitor to a game Nintendo was selling, or they got an absolute crap ton of attention from the media, often to a point of getting a Wikipedia page. For example, the Hero Time fan film sold tickets to actual cinema screenings, and the Lost in Hyrule fan film ran a Kickstarter campaign to raise money. Both of these got nuked by Nintendo for obvious reasons. Meanwhile, the Mario 64 remakes are self-explanatory. Aim to Arm Pokemon Uranium got too much press coverage, and Super Mario Bros. X was originally hosted on the domain name of supermariobrothers.org. In other words, unless you're doing something incredibly arrogant or short-sighted, the chance of your fan project getting taken down is extremely slim. Indeed, whole communities of fan games and mods have been online since the late 90s without any issues. Entire YouTube channels and careers have been built off playing them, and certain creators have even become internet celebrities. The Nintendo ninjas do exist, but they're nowhere near as common as the memes may make you believe. There's also a weird double standard when it comes to fan games and similar things too. At least when it comes to rare examples that do get taken down. That being, people seem somewhat more accepting of it compared to other Fanworks. When something like Into R or Project M went down, people kind of resigned themselves to it and acted like it was always going to happen. But is this fair? No, not really. Legally speaking, fan games are just interactive fan art or fan fiction. They're not different entities that deserve Nintendo's wrath more for being games. Yet, people just kind of accept the worst of them compared to other projects. I mean, if a random author's fan fiction was taken down, Nintendo would be shocked and horrified. So, why be resigned to fan games suffering this fate? There's no difference here, let's not pretend there is. Onto a stupid myth that sometimes crops up on Reddit, that being the Fanworks are just a way for new authors to market upcoming indie games, and that in some cases they didn't even intend to finish the fan game at all. This is complete bullshit. In our 2 decades of using fan game communities, we've never seen a situation play out as theorised. And well, there are good reasons for that. Most notably, you're no more likely to get noticed with a good fan game or mod than you are a good indie title. Since, well, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of these things. The nearest thing to a Super Mario World hack counter has approximately 32,000 listed so far. So, by making a fan game or mod as a marketing tool, you're trading Steam Discovery Hell for romhacking.net or Game Banana Discovery Hell instead. That said, there are reasons you may get confused here, and the first one is pretty simple. Once you've got an experience in fan game or mod development, it's very tempting to start working on indie games too. I mean, you've got game design knowledge and created the levels, you've learned programming or making the game, and you've likely got a good team together ready to work with you too. So why not keep them together and release an indie game for a bit of extra cash? Plus, if you do get shut down, or your fan game becomes a mega hit, it's fairly easy to reuse the engine for an original game too. I mean, it worked with 50 Shades of Grey, maybe it'll work for a fan game too. Regardless, every fan game or mod started with the intention of it being finished in that form. Another thing I hear online is that fan games should be spiritual successors instead. The fan game devs should just make their own equivalent rather than reusing the same characters and world. Like say how Peace Tale and Anton Blast were successors to Wario Land, or Bug Fables was onto Paper Mario games. But this misses one key point here. One thing people don't understand about media franchises in general. People are fans of characters and setting, not just the stories and mechanics. People want Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda, not Plumber Adventure and Hero Saves the World from the Demon King. So, the creators of these works don't want to make something new. They want to create interactive fanfic about their favourite characters and world. For many of them, this is their equivalent of drawing a pic of their favourite character and posting on social media, writing a fanfic for AO3. Finally, there's the idea it's not worth working on these things. That all the time spent working on them would be better off spent on indie games or monetizable projects instead. But this isn't really the case, for many reasons. First, it's a very accessible way to learn game design and development. The resources are all there, whether they're game engines, assets or tutorials. There's also the community side too. Not only is it more supportive than indie game dev can be, but the standards are often a bit higher too. Indeed, while quality control, things like Steam or the App Store, is virtually non-existent, many fan game and mod sites actually have standards for the level of content they accept. In fact, some sites have the staff play the whole game from start to finish, give full feedback on it, and flat out reject the game if it doesn't meet an acceptable quality standard. It teaches you quality control standards and inspires you to touch up things like level design. Mods in particular also teach you a very important skill for any programmer. That being, most of the time it's spent working on existing projects rather than working on greenfield ones. That most of your time and effort is spent trying to figure out how someone else did something and how in God's name it even works. Mods and ROM hacks, basic legacy software dev as a hobby. In other words, the perfect learning experience for a world of AI-driven software engineering. And it's often the place many great programmers and game devs start out too. Toby Fox wrote on Earthbound ROM hacks like the Halloween hack for Undertale and Deltarune. Redigit created Super Mario Bros. X before Terraria. Well, Notch worked on at least one Mario fan game before Minecraft. Thunder Dragon, going from Psycho Waluigi to Psy Cutlery, the team behind Sonic Mania, starting out as Sonic fan game devs, some of the folks behind the Hat in Time being from the Mario fan game dev community. The industry is full of amazing creatives who started out with fan games and mods before moving on to commercial projects, and that's how we should support in every way. Regardless, we hope they cleared up some misconceptions about fan games, mods and other similar projects. No, the Nintendo ninjas aren't lurking around every corner, and no, these communities aren't some lacking substitutes for actual game development like some people say. They're perfectly normal creative mediums that have laid the groundwork for all kinds of amazing projects and careers, and which usually work out for the better for those that take part in them. If you found the video interesting, give it a like, subscribe to our channel if you want to see more, then leave your thoughts in the comments below or over on the Discord server today.